Welcome back, everybody, and I hope you're all doing well. My name is Mary, and I'm here today to share with you a Christmas haul that I've been collecting really pretty much since last winter. I haven't done a haul for Christmas at all this whole year, and as I find items in thrift stores, I just pick them up when I see them. But in any case, if you're brand new to my channel, Rocky Mountain Gardens, I do everything pertaining to home and garden here. So I am getting very excited for Christmas time to be coming, even though I'm being very careful to go ahead and appreciate the fall season as well. We don't want to rush it too much, right? And I will be having quite a few Christmas themed videos this year, including a home tour, which I think you will find to be very interesting, particularly if you like the vintage look and the cottage look, because that's the style that I go for here in my home. Let's just start here with one of the first Santas that I found thrifting. I'm going to come up a little bit closer to the screen so that you can get a good look at this Santa. He is a bisque figurine, which means he has a sort of a matte finish to his figure rather than a shiny one. And that's the style. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that that's the style that I go for, the bisque matte look in the figurines that I collect. And I mostly shop at a thrift store that we have here in Colorado called the Ark, which benefits disabled people in our community. And I like to shop there, especially on Tuesdays and Fridays when they have 50% off their items, and most of their items, let's say. But in any case, this little Santa was $3.99. I believe he is a Homeco figurine, but not positive. In any case, I got him for half price, so basically $2. Wonderful for my new design I'm going to be using in my home this year. Now, I was able to rescue this pair of salt and pepper shakers that are Christmas themed with the holly and the holly berries. And my daughter told me, you can take these to the Goodwill to donate. And I'm like, no, I want them myself, because you might be familiar with the fact that I do have a salt and pepper shaker collection. Now, my collection, I try to gather shakers that are particular to the season. So I have my Christmas collection, my spring collection, summertime, and fall. And I do bring them out for display during those different seasons. And I suggest if you are collecting shakers, you take advantage of them, because, you know, they are great little pieces that you can put out in your different seasonal decor. Don't hide them back in a cabinet or a closet. And then I also have a creamer collection, and this one is one that I found at a different thrift store, and I don't have the price on it. I believe it was about $3. Let's get a close-up of it again. Isn't that darling? It's going to look great this Christmas in my decor. Now let's take a look at this box of ornament. These are called elongated oval ornaments. I just love this shape. These ornaments are part of the Martha Stewart collection, and I got it thrifting. Let's see if I left the tag on. Yes, it was $1.99. I got it for half price. I almost always only pay half price. If something is not on sale, I just pass it by, because I'm trying to be frugal with my decorating expenses. In any case, let me give you a close-up of these ornaments. They're really delightful, and they're going to look fantastic on my vintage tree. These are not shatterproof. They are glass ornaments and very sparkly, you know, when you hang them amidst all of your Christmas lights on the tree. Now let's talk about linens. Guys, I found this beautiful table scarf at the Ark, I believe. I think I have cut off the tag for it. It was certainly maybe $4.99 and on sale, of course. It's not a large piece, but I'm going to be using it on my dining room table this season, which you'll see in my home tour. But let's take a close-up of it. If we look closely, it has beautiful stitching, embroidery on it. I think it is probably machine embroidered, but it is still quite lovely and definitely in that vintage style. Isn't it pretty? And my next piece of linen is a quilt that I found. And I'm going to open it up here for you. It's more like a lap quilt. I'm going to switch over here so you can see a close-up of it. It is not a printed design. It is actually pieced, probably machine pieced, but still it is more handmade than just a print on a piece of fabric. And if anyone knows the name of this pattern, I would love to have you tell me. I am guessing it is called the wedding ring pattern, but I'm not for sure. So if you know definitely the name of it, I would really appreciate for you to tell me and share that information with me. Let's move on to a book that I picked up. Those of you who know the Jan Karen series, and it's called the Mitford series, and Mitford is a fictional place, I think in North Carolina. It's been a while since I read the whole series, but I've read it twice. It is so good and very entertaining, a lot of funny, humorous parts to cheer you up. And this, in the Mitford series, this one called Shepherd's Abiding is actually the Christmas story that goes with that series. So I have it in paperback, but I wanted to get a hardback version. It is hilarious. Really, I'm not kidding. You will laugh out loud if you are reading this book. But it would be helpful if you started at the beginning of the series by Jan Karen and then read this in order, because you get to know the characters as the books move along, and I think you would really enjoy them. Very eccentric small town characters that are so funny. Okay, now friends, I picked up this Santa. I got them for 15% off because I was shopping on a Wednesday at Goodwill, and that's when they have their senior discount of 15% for anyone who's 55 years and older. And this Santa cost me $8. Well, we'll say $7.99. Let me give you a close-up of him. I just love his outfit. It's very, to me, very Russian looking. His coat with the fur, dark fur, and his little bag of toys behind him, and so on. Anyway, guys, he was a real find. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. I grabbed him immediately to put him in my cart at the Goodwill. So anyway, he is a real treasure. Now, another good deal that I found was this red lantern. It's an IKEA piece because it still has the tag on the bottom here, but it was sold for $2.59, and I did get it for 50% off. And it has a space for a candle right here. Let's see if I can give you a close-up right there inside for a medium-sized pillar candle. And I actually have a candle already that fits into that space. So it's just a perfect find for me to use this year. Okay. Another thing that I might suggest you look for decor, even at Christmas time, I found this green, I think it was used to be, what is it? What are they called? The curtain holdbacks, you know, that you would put this around your curtain and hook it, and then it would hang and keep your curtains draped like this. I forgot the name for it. If I remember, I'll put it up on the screen. But I find these in quite a few colors all the time. So this is a greenish one, which I'm going to be using, of course, in Christmas decor somewhere in my house. But it's a good find. I have one more thrifted item that I wanted to share with you today, and that is this beautiful angel and child. I like to imagine that the little child is baby Jesus. And this was created by Homeco. It has the Homeco sticker on the bottom. I'll put it up here for you to see. Let's see. There we go. You can see it. Many of the Homeco pieces no longer have their stickers, but usually they'll have a 4-digit number like this on the bottom of the figurine for you to be able to identify it as a Homeco piece. Let's take a close-up look at her. I wanted to share with you, in addition to my thrifted finds, being a frugal person, I always go to Walmart first looking for things that I'd like to add to my Christmas collection. And I have to say this year that Walmart has done a great job in providing us with some reproduced vintage pieces to pick from. So let me start. I'll grab over here a little sign that I bought. Is that not the cutest little Santa? He is simply darling. And guys, he was $4.98. Very inexpensive and reasonable, actually. So I purchased him because he has the style of the Santas that were produced back like in the 40s and 50s, which I simply adore them. Have you ever heard of Putz houses? Because I watch a lot of videos from people who collect vintage wares, you might say. I have heard of them and did some research, and oh my goodness, guys, I found this year at Walmart reproductions of Putz houses. Let's look at the one that I found close up here. Now, Putz houses are made of thin cardboard and were known when they were first introduced back in the 1920s, 30s, and they were very popular through the 40s actually, and you could possibly have one in your family that was handed down from the previous generation. The word Putz comes from the German word putzen, which means to decorate or to clean. And it is said that earlier on in Germany, families would create little Christmas scenes, maybe a nativity scene, with the paper and cardboard that they had around the house, decorate them with glitter. They were known to be very glittery, and then use them as their home decorations, especially, I would say, in the hard times after the Second World War. In any case, they became very popular, as I said, from the 20s back through the 1940s, and inexpensive for sure during those harder times. Let's look at these pictures of vintage putz houses, and they still can be found like on Etsy and other sites like that that sell vintage wares. So, you know, if you want a vintage one, you can. They are more costly. But my little putz house from Walmart, let's see, I took off the tag, but it was one of their $1.98 ornaments that they have a large collection of there at Walmart. And guys, I really recommend stopping by Walmart and seeing if you can find, if you're into vintage, see if you can find some putz houses or some vintage reproduced signs like the other one I showed you just a minute ago. But lastly, I have a blow mold Santa that lights up that I picked up, and gosh, he was not cheap, you know, but cheaper than a vintage one for sure. He was $34, but guys, when I saw him, I was so thrilled. Now, blow molds were, I guess you might say, invented back in the late 1800s, the process that they used for blow molds. And then I think it was around the 1920s, they became very popular because they started using them to create figures. And, you know, in the marketing business, they found out that they could make some really cool Christmas figures. Let me show you a couple of the vintage ones that I saw online that were beautiful. And I just think they're so pretty. They can be used indoors or outdoors. I'm going to put mine out on my porch, my little Santa, and I'm so excited to use him this year as a, you know, a nod to the vintage look that I'm going for in my home. And so take a look. They had Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and some other Christmas figures. Some of the common ones you might see are the large candlesticks with flames, you know, that light up. And then I almost forgot, guys, I have one last pair of salt and pepper shakers, little Christmas bears. Let's take a close-up look at these cuties. And I don't actually use them for salt and pepper shakers on my table. I have other ones that are dedicated to decorating my table at Christmas time. But these little guys were $1.49 a piece, half price, so very inexpensive. And oh my goodness, they're just such cuties, like I said. Okay. Well, for now, I just would like to tell you goodbye. Thank you for joining me for this thrift haul and these Walmart vintage reproductions. I'm always happy to share with you guys, and I hope give you some ideas when you're out shopping and you want to be frugal. Go to those thrift stores. They are fantastic. I am always feeling like I have a victory when I pick up something unexpected as I'm walking down those aisles. I wish you all a blessed and happy, relaxing weekend. And guys, as the holidays descend upon us before we know it, let's get ready for Christmas. This is Mary saying bye for now and Merry Christmas.